Hey everybody, Michelle with Triangle Social Media. Made it just in time, I think. Having some technical difficulties today. I'm Michelle. I own Triangle Social Media, and I love to interview business owners every Wednesday at noon. And we have some Facebook glitches going on, so we are still in the other places. And so we'll be sharing it, the live video, after the fact. But I encourage you to do videos. Go live, record, upload. It helps people to recognize and connect with you as a brand, right? And so that's part of the purpose of what we do. We do like these business builders online, and so other people can participate as well and get to know my guests. So we have Bobbie Hennessy with me today. And Bobbie, I know that you are amazing at what you do in Women in Networking, but I would love for you to just tell us about your role, what you do, and maybe how you started, a little bit of your story.
Boy, that's a lot, Michelle. We could be here a while.
I know.
Well, honestly, when I first came to WIN, I had been invited by someone, and there was only 9 women. And I was also participating in a very large group, another networking group, but I wasn't getting business. And when I met these 9 women, there was just such a great connection. It just felt like I met my tribe.
Mm-hmm.
I've met my people. And what I loved about them, it was a small group, but everybody was all in with wanting to help one another in getting and giving business. And I felt like this is where I needed to be. The dues were much more reasonable, and the connections were fantastic. I was in that group, I guess, for several years, and all of a sudden what had happened was we were starting to build up a little bit of money, not a lot by any stretch, under $1,000, but we thought we were rich. And what happened was that our treasurer said, look, you got to put this money somewhere. Why don't you just start and make this a company? So Janice Williams decided at the point, well, why not? So off we went to the races, and we actually started Women in Networking at that time. Very organic, very innocent. It just started out because so many people enjoyed us all working together, getting and giving business. Well, before we knew it, I had stepped up. I actually took a 2-week vacation and came back as president. So one of the things you learn in WIN, don't take a vacation, because you might come back and find yourself in a leadership role. So at that point, we jumped in and started growing WIN. And before we knew it, we actually had a waiting list. We developed some techniques in doing that. We started a housing alliance, and that particular alliance really took us to the top, to the point where we had so many people on a waiting list, we decided to start a second chapter. And thus was the beginning of WIN. And now, as you know, at one point pre-pandemic, we had almost 35 chapters. We did lose some of them due to pandemic, with a lot of our women working from home remotely, or taking care of parents, or having to homeschool their children. But we're coming back. I actually have 5 chapters that are ready for startup, and it's back to work again as usual. Mm-hmm. My role in WIN is I'm the chief.
Well, I know it takes a lot.
I'm the chief operating officer.
So what are some of the things that you do in your role?
Well, let's see. I do all the training.
There's a problem with the sound.
Has it stopped? You can't hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right. In WIN, I do the training for new leadership. I actually set it up. I'm operations. I recently took over the social media. I do all the development. Like if someone is interested in another area that wants to start a chapter, I develop it. All of the training is actually done online, so that our women don't actually have to get dressed, go drive somewhere. We want these women focused on their business. And that's why we took a lot of what we do online, so that all the training could be done online. where they could actually have more time to network. It's very different. It's a very different model. I don't know anybody out there quite like us. And we also keep our dues very reasonable because we really are a community based organization. And honestly, Michelle, I don't think there's a better time where small communities and small business need the help. And that's what when women in networking is all about. We
Absolutely.
call ourselves business with a heart
Mm-hmm.
because it's really all about the women of Win. And they really get the credit for Win. They've actually helped us grow organically through their thoughts, their ideas, their suggestions. I honestly think that's what makes us rather unique than other networking organizations. Does that help, Michelle?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a ton. And I'll just add, being a member in Win Holly Springs, there's so many benefits. And I definitely encourage people to explore the possibility as a business owner. It's very encouraging. You get a lot of, you build relationships, you help refer each other. Yeah, but you build friendships and you do but business events and collaborations and fun things, social things. And so it's a great supportive environment. And so I'm so glad that I found Win, and my group in particular I think is of course the best. And yeah, so I highly recommend, if you're a woman business owner and you want to find that community. There's a lot of different types of groups out there, I know. And we do the things, and sometimes people are in multiple groups depending on whatever your bandwidth is. But definitely consider Win, and you can visit. They have them all over the place. And I would love for you to share, Bobbie, website, any kind of links, information, things you want to share in the thread of the video. After the video is done, we'll go to where the video is broadcast and share those links so that people can, maybe they have questions for you, Bobbie, or they have they just want to check it out and explore more. But what would you say? What do you feel like is the strongest asset of being a Win member? What do you think that would be?
Well, I think you nailed it. We take know, like, and trust to a height like no other networking organization I've ever been to or joined. The relationships, I've been out of the area for 6 years, and I'm still sending referrals to my home group. And they're still sending me leads and referrals. So it's an amazing group of women. You cut your marketing costs to where we're helping each other grow.
Yeah.
And that's something that I don't think you can get on any other group other than Win. Our relationships are long and strong.
Absolutely.
Business with a heart, and it's definitely all about the women of Win. Now, where would you like me to put a link, Michelle?
So after we're done, we will go to LinkedIn, we will go to Twitter, we'll go to YouTube, and later we'll be sharing in Facebook. And so I'll work with you on that, and we'll make sure that we don't put them here in StreamYard because people can't click through. So we want to make the links clickable. So we're going to share them in the thread of the video where people see on the different platforms. And so, yeah, that's just one of the things where we're, interviewing people every week, and then we invite people to connect, right? So maybe people will connect with you, Bobbie, ask questions, find out more, or just visit the links and do some exploring and considering their own journey, their own business journey, right? For women in business.
Well,
So,
Michelle, one thing that stands out that I didn't mention is the fact that we are an exclusive. We're not a leads group. We're actually a referral group. And so it is exclusive by category. So each chapter has only one. And that way you're locking out your competition and adding your sales and marketing team.
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And it's a strong feature. And then you really get to know and support and understand others, all their brands, and so that you can speak on their behalf in a very intelligent way because you know that person and you're building relationships with them. So thank you so much for coming on today, Bobbie. Appreciate you. and appreciate Win and all that you do for Win and just the whole organization. I invite everybody again to connect with the links that you will see momentarily. And let me know if you'd like to come on Social Soundbites with Michelle every Wednesday, 12 o'clock noon. And we're pretty much done. So we're going to say
Michelle,
have a
thank you for
wonderful
having
day.
me.
Yes, absolutely. It was wonderful. And so we'll say goodbye and we'll see you next week.
All right.
Everybody,
Bye.
bye-bye.